Runners on first and second now for the Comets. Alex Kelling up to bat. No outs in the inning. He's going to square around a bunt and pull that one back. That's a ball.
Yeah, Murphy had a single and a stolen base. And then Krukerberg was able to work a walk on 4 pitches. So now 2-1 to Alex Kelling. He was one of the 3 Comets to strike out looking back in the second.
Fastball inside for strike number 2. Counts even at 2 now. Alex Kelling, like you said, struck out looking in the first. There's first time up, and one of 3 Comets to do that already. We're in the 4th inning now. Still a 4-0 lead for Grove City. He lines one right at the second baseman. Could be 2. The throw on to second in time. No throw to first. So he does get the out at second, but the runners advance to third, and now Kelling at first.
Yeah, fielder's choice there. Luckily, the contact was soft enough there. Kelling's has above average speed, so he was able to go to first. And good job by Murphy, too, on the slide, kind of getting in the way, kind of impeding the throw a little bit. So now runners in the corners for the third baseman, Mark Rutherford.
Rutherford up, and he has not had the year that he wanted to have. Last year he showed a lot of potential as only a freshman. He's an Auburn commit, but he's batting sub 200.
Below the Mendoza line.
Yep. He looks at strike 1 on the outside corner from Holstrom. Still are runners on the corners, and only 1 out. Sacrifice is in play, but down 4-0. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Mason. And Rutherford swings on a big swing, strike number 2.
Yeah, Holstrom's still only thrown 52 pitches. Comets are making him work a little bit more, but 31 strikes, 21 balls. He's been fairly accurate all game long.
1-2 way outside. Almost got away from Rufford, and it's a 2-2 count now.
I mean, the Comets have to find a way to get at least 1 run here. You have to get Murphy in from third.
And that one skied into the air, not getting out of the outfield. First baseman ranging under it. No movement from the runners, and out number 2. Mark Rutherford pops up.
That's a killer there for the Comets. I mean, with the sac fly in play, with Murphy on third, you got just a run 90 feet away, and just not able to take advantage of it here. So now runners in the corners, 2 outs. Let's see if Brady Bly can get the Comets' first run of the day. He struck out looking his first time up in the second inning.
Holstrom now working out of the stretch, gets the sign. First pitch, a strike on the outside corner, and that one looked to be a little bit outside, but 0-1 count now. The 0-1, that one check swing, foul ball into the net. And Bly's now down to the count 0-2. Comets got 2 on to start the inning. And there's a fielder's choice and a pop-up to the first baseman. We'll see what Bly can do now. Fouls one off again, stays alive.
A good piece of 2-strike hitting there from Bly, but it's not going to get any easier here on the next pitch. Expect a breaking ball maybe on the outside, trying to get Bly to chase.
Still no balls in the count, so.
Hey, Holstrom could throw a fastball in there too. I mean, he doesn't really have a put-away pitch. He kind of has multiple put-away pitches he likes to rotate with.
The 0-2, that one, the chopper, right at the first baseman. Will step on first for out number 3. Heading to the bottom of the 4th. Comets can't scratch one across. Grove City with a 4-0 lead here in the state semifinal. Bottom of the fifth, leading off the inning. Bottom of the fourth, leading off the inning. Trent Ruffing for the Grove City Greyhounds with a 4-0 lead. They got to Brendan Garula and this Mason defense early. And Garula's couple of scoreless innings in a row, though. We'll see what he can work with. First pitch fouled off behind the net.
Yeah, Ruffing had a sack bunt, an RBI in the second inning.
Garula coming into this game, has 9-0 record with a with just around 1 ERA and a whip of under .7.
Yeah, unfortunately that number's going to be going up after today. But let's see if that loss number stays at 0. That's what we're hoping for, Ben.
Yep. That pitch in there for a strike. Grove City fans not happy about that. And that one grounded right at A.J. Lefton. The second baseman has trouble with it, regains it, and throws on in time for the out. Little iffy play over there at second by A.J. Lefton, but they do get the first out.
That's a lot closer than it should have been. Ruffing, a speedy player, likes to bunt a lot, just knows how to get on base. But, yeah, definitely a close one there. I still can't believe that looking at his stats. A 196 average for Ruffing with a 441 OBP.
That's Yasmani Grandal numbers right there.
Or Derek Dietrich when he got hit by the Pirates every single time he was up a couple years ago.
First pitch now to Holstrom inside with a breaking ball. Almost hit him. It's 1-0 now. And that one's in there for a strike. A couple of curveballs back-to-back. One finally hitting the zone.
Yeah, good job by Garula working fast there. Wasn't phased by his first curveball out of the zone. Just fires another one in quickly.
And that one is going to hit Holstrom, pegs him on the back, and he will be awarded first base. That's a second hit batsman for the Comets today. No trainer needed for Holstrom. He's okay.
Well, Holstrom right now is looking like the MVP of the game so far. With a single, he was able to take second. His second time up. And then also on the mound, 4 scoreless innings against the Comets. Now here's another guy who could be MVP of the game too. In Jackson Ware with 2 doubles against Garula.
Comets are going to Coach Bly went to the phone down there in the dugout looking at the bullpen. Michael Murphy down there warming up. Could see him coming in soon. Garula, it's his 4th tournament start this year. And 2 of them he went the distance, one with a perfect game and one was a really good game against Moeller. And then he took himself out against in the district finals with forearm tightness. And he only went 4 2/3 in that one. And where we are right now, he's only gone 3 1/3 with a runner on first base. And he's looking at Ware now. First 2 pitches, 1 strike, 1 a ball, both fastballs, even count.
As Ware, a very confident hitter, has just really driven the ball twice hard into the gap, and Garula's going to have to keep his composure here.
He nails that at Sulik. Diving play, gets behind him, throw to second in time. A good job by Sulik, who lost it at first. A diving stop anyway, and they get the lead runner.
Yeah, it was very hard hit, and you can't really blame Sulik there for not getting a double play because he had to dive, stretch out just to stop that ball, and a good flip over to left in at second. So at least the Comets were able to get the lead runner there.
So there's now a runner on first with 2 outs after that fielder's choice. And here's Dennis Rittlinger and a rider. .360 batting average coming into this game. He fouls off strike 1.
And the rider had the first RBI of the game with a double back in the first.
0-1, a breaking ball outside. Ware, you got to look on the base paths as well. He has 7 stolen bases this year. 1-1. That's fouled off the foot, it looked like, of Neureiter. And Garula once again has 2 strikes.
Yeah, maybe you'll send Ware on this pitch 1 and 2, but you don't really need to play super aggressive if you're the Greyhounds right now with your 4-0 lead. So probably just remain over at first, but you never know. Could see a steal with 2 strikes. I mean, the Greyhounds just dominated the Comets on the base paths all game long.
1-2 dealt. That one swung on, and Sulik, another diving play. The throw on to first, not in time. An infield single for Dennis Rittlinger and Neureiter. And another really nice job to stop it from Sulik. Can't blame him for not getting it in time there either.
Yeah, again, a very nice diving play. I mean, not many high school shortstops would be able to make that play. That'd be like a Fernando Tatis type dive, stop, and shortstop. But, I mean, good range there from Sulik. And that could have been bad because that would have been a little ground ball right in between the shortstop and left fielder, which would take a lot of time to get to. And maybe could have potentially been the 5th run for the Greyhounds.
Instead, it's just first and second still with 2 outs. Now at the plate is Zach Sigmund, who fouls off the first. And it's a pretty rare stat. Sigmund leads the team. He's the cleanup hitter, but he leads the team in stolen bases with 11. 20 RBI as well.
Yeah, good power and speed hitter. He's 1 for 2. He had a bunt single in the first and a strikeout looking in the second. Yeah, Brendan Garula only 2 strikeouts. That's
uncharacteristic of Garula for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And that one's in the dirt.
So he's at 67 pitches here through 3 2/3.
1-1's the count now on Sigmund. Ware at second, Rittlinger and Neureiter at first. That one's in the dirt as well. Counts 2-1 now. Garula, we saw some command issues earlier in this one. We saw a couple of hit batsmen. And Garula checks over at first, but Hanley wasn't over there ready for it. Luckily, that throw was soft enough that Hanley was able to get over there and stop it. That could have been dangerous.
Yeah, I mean,
those are the kind of mistakes that you got to calm down and think first.
Hanley playing deeper at first base with 2 outs.
Yeah, 2-1. That one's popped up into the outfield. Getting under it is Krukenberg, and he will make the play for out number 3. Comets, another job stranding a couple of runners, but we will head to the 5th inning. Comets trail 4-0 against the Grove City Greyhounds.
We're back here. Top of 5, 9-1-2 up for the Comets. So we'll start with the center fielder, Kevin West, and he'll swing on the first pitch, line it over to right field, and that ball will get out of play. It looked originally Like Bryant thought he was going to catch that one and right, kind of a routine play, but the ball kind of drifted over out of play, and West fortunate there.
He's going to get another chance now.
He flew out to center field to end the second. His first time up. Holstrom only had 60 pitches here in the fifth. And a breaking ball will be low for ball one. Now Holstrom gets a sign, fires in, and a high strike there. And Kevin West did not like the call there. I didn't really like it either, Ben.
We've seen a few of those high pitches. Seems like the strike zone's a little elevated for the umpire today.
Yeah, we've seen some low pitches that maybe have been strikes that have been called balls as well. Like that fastball right there, a little bit low, so will be 2-2 to West. And then again, 1-2, and the fastball misses on the inside. Now the count even at 2-2. The pitch from Holstrom. West will line that one, and it will get down in the gap. Kevin West runs around first. He's heading for two. He's got a lot of speed, and he is in time for a double. Kevin West into the left center field gap there. And the unlikely man for the Comets to get on base, the 9-hole hitter, Kevin West, getting the job done here in Akron.
Yeah, well, we've seen it a few times here in the playoffs. Kevin West is just a rally starter, whether it's a walk, base hit, hit by pitch. We've seen a couple of different ways, and it's nice to have a nine. Comets don't have a where you look at someone and say that this is easily the worst hitter in their lineup. So it's nice to have that kind of another leadoff hitter in that 9 spot for Kevin West. He has a lot of speed, and he's exactly who you want in this situation on second base.
Yeah, he can score easily on a single. And now Brendan Grula, leadoff hitter up, and he'll look at a strike one breaking ball. He singled to start the game, and looked like the Comets were going to be off to a hot start, but not the case, unfortunately. And he's way ahead on the breaking ball.
It's like everything after that at-bat just went downhill for the Comets tonight. And it's big to get momentum, and we thought Mason had it at first. Then you got the bunt single next.
It's now 0-2 to Grula. And the pitch, swing and a miss from the Comets pitcher. Holstrom going to the high heat for strike 3. A very good job there on Grula. Goes breaking ball. And then another breaking ball, gets him out in front, and then changes speeds with a high fastball, and Grula gets sent down there. So now A.J. left, and he's 0 for 1 with a bunt, sack bunt back in the first. And the pitch will be high for for ball 1. So West on second, Lefton at the plate. Comets need a run here in the worst way, and West is going for third. The throw, not in time. Kevin West, a big stolen base there now, puts the sack fly, an option for Lefton.
And that was not a very good throw by Spiegel, the catcher, but even if that throw was in time, or was on line, I don't know if it was in time. Just the speed from Kevin West is unreal.
And now up to double-digit stolen bases on the year. That's his 10th. Now Lefton will foul off that pitch for the first strike of the at-bat. 2-1. West leading off over third base. Here's the pitch. Lefton will bloop this one out to right field, and it will be caught by Bryant. West heading home. He will make it in time. So a sacrifice fly from A.J. Lefton. And finally the Comets get on the board here. So it's 4-1 now, 2 outs, and the Comets will take it. They just needed a run.
Anything to get going. You got a few more chances. You got 7 more outs to work with from this point on, and maybe that can get them some momentum a little bit too. Beggars can't be choosers right now.
And now it's Jake Hanley, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts.
You also got to notice A.J. Lefton getting the job done tonight, his second sacrifice of the night, and 3 plate appearances, only 1 official at bat.
Yeah, he's just doing the little things, helping the Comets out. And then there's Hanley, checks his swing for strike 2. think they'll say it was kind of a strike anyways, so didn't really matter if he went around or not. Now here on the 0-2 pitch, Hanley behind in the count again on the lefty, Holstrom. Here's the pitch, and that was high and outside, but they'll call it strike 3, so Hanley gets rung up. The Comets get 1. They trail 4-1 after 5 innings. You're listening to the state semifinals on Mason Sports Radio. And Garula will be back on the mound for his 5th inning of work against Grove City here. Working in the middle of the lineup, Braxton Bryant, the leadoff hitter, tries to lay down a bunt, but just kind of whiffs on that one there for strike 1. Kind of a swinging bunt, but he ran before he made contact with the ball, and so that's not going to work for Bryant. The 0-1 pitch. Oh, and just a little bit outside there. 1-1 on the breaking ball from Garula.
That looked a lot like the pitch that Hanley struck out on. They said strikeout looking. And now Garula's really down on the count.
Yeah, Bryant had a bunt single in the 1st inning, so Rutherford playing in on 3rd a little bit. Now 2-1. Here's the pitch. And that's looked to be high and outside, but that's strike 2. That's basically a replica of the pitch we saw to Hanley.
I wouldn't say it's a bigger strike zone, just an elevated strike zone a little bit, like we mentioned earlier.
Just a weird strike zone.
Yeah. I don't think it's quite a perfect square today.
So, Ben, what's your opinion on those automatic kind of like non-human strike zones? Think those are going to be good, or think umpires will stick around longer? At least in the MLB.
I think human umpires are. You know, I need to do my research a little bit on the automatic umpires, but I think it just depends on the technology. I know they still make a lot of mistakes.
And Garula will ring him up on the outside corner for strike 3. But, yeah, I mean, that's one of those things, like, I mean, there's always human error in a human umpire. You can't expect every umpire to be perfect. And the whole plate umpire, yeah, he hasn't been bad. It's just inconsistently consistent.
Yep.
I guess. It's kind of a phrase we both made up for umpires.
It hasn't swung too far one way.
As long as they keep it similar for each of the teams, and that's really all you can ask for from an ump.
There's Ty Clifton. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded into a double play, and was hit by pitch in the 3rd.
Yeah, the designated hitter. Another lefty. A lot of lefties on both of these teams. And Garula will throw strike 1 right down the middle. Clifton will just watch it go by.
Well, that being the case, you would have expected a lower scoring game, and well, on one side it has been that's been the case.
And again, high and outside. Call it a strike on a slider from Grula.
Maybe that's a cheat code. Put it right there. That's hard for hitters to get to.
Now 0-2, that one's in the dirt. But no problem there. So there's no runners on base, so the count will be 1-2, 1 out. Grula looking for a quick inning of work. He's up to 79 pitches. I mean, his accuracy hasn't been an issue. 52 strikes, 27 balls. So the problem is only 3 strikeouts. So it means these Grove City Greyhounds, they've gotten a lot of contact on him.
Well, they've been getting to his fastball.
And that's a shot up the middle. That'll deflect off Garula, but luckily goes right to Lefton for an out. So unconventional 4-3 there for the Comets, but Garula seems to be okay, and the Comets will take it there.
That might have been a 1-4-3 there, an assist from Garula. It did look like that was right up the middle. If that didn't hit Garula, I don't think anyone would have got there.
Well, I guess you are the official scorekeeper, at least for this inning, Ben, so whatever you say goes. And the first pitch from the catcher, Spiegel, lined out into right field. Krukenberg on the run. He'll make the play. So a 1-2-3 inning, and the Comets need some bats to come alive here as they have 6 outs left to work with. They're down 4-1 here from Akron, Ohio in the state semifinals.
Back at Canal Park, the 6th inning, 6 outs to work with for the Mason Comets. Trail by 3 against the Grove City Greyhounds. Michael Murphy, the designated hitter, leads off the 6th. And a look at ball number 1 low from Holstrom.
Yeah, Holstrom, 74 pitches, 47 strikes, 28 balls, 5 strikeouts, 4 of them looking for the Comets, only 1 swinging strikeout.
And Murphy will hit this one into foul territory. That'll go out of play. No one able to get under it. But now he's down on the count. Or even, 1-1. First pitch was called a ball. And you look at that pitch speed from the breaking ball from Holstrom. That was 60. I mean, he's almost working in the 50s here. That's very unconventional in high school.
He's gone from 60 to 83 on his range of pitches. So that's been tough on the Comet hitters to get their timing down. It's a very underrated part of pitching is kind of how well you can mix your speeds. Seems like everyone kind of these days, all they really care about is velocity, but just being able to mix up your pitches and mix speeds on them and just hit corners, that's more important.
That's low and inside for ball number 2. Murphy's ahead in the count now. And the 2-1 is a chopper down the third base line. A play made over to first. That one gets away from the first baseman. Michael Murphy will get into second standing up. And now there's a runner on second. An error on the throw from Sigmund.
Yeah, boy, did the Comets need that one. Wow. I mean, pretty good contact from Murphy. A tough throw across the diamond. And Sigmund just skipped one in the dirt. Ware couldn't handle it. And the Comets got a runner on second. Yeah, they'll go down as an E5 there.
And now we're going to see some Greyhounds sprinting to the bullpen. Holstrom. Always a funny sight here at the minor league park. There's they don't have anyone stationed over in the bullpen, so you gotta wait for the runners to run all the way to right center field and stop play a little bit. Got to wait for the guys going to the bullpen.
Yeah, it was kind of weird when you were talking about when Michael Murphy was in the bullpen. I was kind of looking over down at the third base line, first base line, like we usually see the Comets playing. But yeah, I mean, it's rare when we have to look into right center, and the players aren't really used to it either. And
well, especially for Murphy, he's the designated hitter in this one. He was the one that was in the bullpen.
Looks like a fan's just like sneaking onto the field, and they're getting chased by a security guard.
All right, so runner on second with no outs. Here's Sean Krukenberg. That one, strike to him. It's 0-1 now. We talked about how Comets have struggled with left-handed pitching so far this season, and Krukenberg lines that one into left field. That's going to drop. Murphy was waiting to see if it was caught, so he stays at second, but a single for Sean Krukenberg. And Comets in business now, tying a run up to the plate, and Alex Kelling.
Yeah, that's a smart play from Murphy. I mean, that ball could have easily been caught. It was tough to tell off the bat. Just kind of floated in the shallow left. And the Comets, especially with no outs, you don't want to play like super aggressive in that situation. So first and second now with Kelling up.
And we might look to a pinch hitter or a pinch runner.
I mean, the tying hitter up. Kelling's got 2 homers on the year. You never know, Ben.
Yep. Kurt Bly going over to talk to the umpire, and it looks like that's Casey Donor coming out to pinch run for Michael Murphy. Alex Kelling still at the plate. Murphy's going to get an ovation coming off. Started this inning off, reached on an air. I think I didn't see the official ruling on that one, but even if the throw was in time, even if the throw was online, he might have reached. So that might be a single and got second on an air, but nonetheless, he's on his pinch runner is on second now with Krukenberg at first and Kelling at the plate. Holstrom still working.
Yeah, Kelling's kind of struggled as of late, but he's been a clutch hitter all year long.
He lays down a bunt, and that throw's going to go to third, and they got him in time. So that bunt from Kelling was hard down the third base line, and a really good play from Holstrom to pick it up, turn around, and fire over to third. So now it's still first and second, but with 1 out.
A good job from Sigmund, too, because Holstrom had to release that very quickly, and Sigmund, it looked like the throw might have taken him off the bag, but a good job there getting his foot down. And now they're going to take a mound visit. Holstrom up to 81 pitches. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they take him out here. We know they got a guy in the bullpen, but can't quite see the numbers from here.
Still the tying run. That's Gabe Duncan, number 7 in the bullpen for Grove City. And they will talk things over, but it does look like Holstrom is going to stay in the game to try to get out of this inning. And the top of the 6th, 2 on with 1 out. And Mark Rutherford, an Auburn commit, at the plate.
Yeah, it's just there's a huge difference between second and third and 1 out and first and second and 1 out. Of course, with a double play still being an option here. And Rutherford's a guy, he has power, but he doesn't have a ton of speed. So he is someone you can turn to on.
First pitch to Rutherford's a breaking pitch outside. I'm waiting to see the speed on that one. That looked like one of his slowest all day. 1-0 now on Rutherford. And there was a fastball fired in there, fouled off for strike one, counts even now.
Yeah, that pitch was a little bit high. Rutherford went up there and took a hack at it, but I mean, who knows? That might have been one that was called a strike anyways.
Well, it's 1-1. Check swing, the appeal down. They're going to say he did go around. Mason fans not happy about that one. It was close, and it's a 1-2 count now. Rutherford does have one home run on the year.
That's what a good breaking ball does to you there.
Only 7 RBI. And it's a 1-2 count on him now. And stays alive with another foul ball on a high fastball.
Yeah, Holstrom's just kind of alternating fastball, breaking ball every single pitch. So I wonder if he'll go back to another breaking ball. We've seen him throw them as slow as 60 miles an hour.
Rutherford calls time. And Holstrom will step off the mound. A couple balls delivered to the umpire. This beautiful scene in Akron, Ohio. Brady Bly is on deck. And tying run at the plate for the Comets.
Yeah, couldn't be more of a beautiful day. Just 75, no sun, clear skies.
The 1-2 outside evens the count now, that one. No question about it.
Yeah, the only thing not beautiful about today is the scoreboard, unfortunately.
Yep. Sometimes it's the way it goes. A 2-2 on Rutherford now. And Rutherford skies that one down the line. Going to be a tough play on the run for the left fielder, but he does make the catch. Runners will stay put, and that is the second out of the inning for the Comets. Brady Bly will come to the plate. Mark Rutherford retired.
Yeah, the Comets first and second with no outs. Now first and second with 2 outs. And Brady Bly struck out looking in the second. Grounded out to the first baseman in the fourth. Now his 3rd time up.
He had a big RBI double in their regional final win against Moeller in that one. Ball 1 in the dirt, 1-0 count on Bly now. Bly hitting over 300 on the season.
He had a big double last game against Moeller. Almost a homer. Went back in deepest part of the ballpark, back at the Midland Baseball Complex.
Yep.
All the way back in Batavia.
2-0 count on Bly, 3-0 now. Few balls dealt from Holstrom. Holstrom has not had command issues a lot today at all. The 3-0 low, but just caught a part of the zone. It's a hitter's count now for Bly.
Yeah, Bly was taking that one all the way there. With you just saw 3 balls, and now, I mean, normally you'd want the 8-hole guy to be aggressive with the 9-hole hitter coming up, but Kevin West coming off a double. He might be the guy you want at the plate.
And Bly swings and misses a fastball high, and that runs the count full with 2 outs and 2 on for the Comets. A huge spot in the bottom of the 6th, top of the 6th. Only 4 outs to work with. The payoff. In there, strike 3 right down the middle. And Bly strikes out looking. That's the 5th strikeout looking for the Comets tonight on only 6 strikeouts for Holstrom. And we will head to the bottom of the 6th. Comets still trail 4-1 here in the state semifinals. Bottom of the 6th, Brendan Garula comes back out on the mound for the Comets. He'll be facing Spencer Stroll to lead it off. And he is, after struggling the first 2 innings, he's gone 3 straight scoreless. Working into the 6th now, gets a swing and a miss on Stroll. 0-1 count. And now a breaking pitch lined into the outfield, coming up to make the play. Out number 1. Nice play made by Sean Krukenberg.
Yeah, good job on the run. He covers a lot of territory over and right, and it's a good quick first out. Gruel up to 82 pitches, so likely probably going to finish the inning. I mean, he's gotten better all game long, but unfortunately his struggles early, particularly in the second inning, that's kind of what has hurt the Comets.
Strike 1 dealt now to Trent Ruffing. Coming into this game, batting only 196.
It's just not tough for pitchers to get adjusted playing in just such a huge ballpark, like a minor league ballpark. Not used to it, but
couple of inside pitches that looked questionable, but both called strikes now. That's an 0-2 count on Trent Ruffing.
I don't know where the strike zone is. I mean, originally I thought it was outside. Might be inside now. I don't know.
And Ruffing finally fouls one off, is able to make contact, stay alive. But, I have to agree with you on that one. Still an 0-2 count. That one fired in the dirt, no question. That was a ball. First ball of the AB. On deck, they would turn it over to the top of the lineup and Keegan Holstrom. And now the 1-2 on Ruffing. That one's lined into center field. Coming in is West. He'll have no problem making that play for out number 2. A couple of fly outs and 2 quick outs for Brendan Garula. But now he'll face Holstrom, .415 batting average.
Yeah, going back to the top of the order, and he singled and scored back in the second to go along with a hit by pitch and a fly out. And a great day on the mound as well.
Fastball swung on and missed by Holstrom, 0-1.
He's pitched 6 innings, only giving up 1 run against the number 1 ranked team in the state. That's Holstrom, and maybe he's a little motivated. I'm sure all these Grove City players were a little motivated when they saw like Brendan Garula, player of the state in Ohio, and they came out and they wanted to prove him wrong, and that's what they've done so far.
1-2 count now on Holstrom. Holstrom will line that, jumping and not able to make the play is left, and it'll be a single into right. And the great day for Keegan Holstrom keeps going with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Jackson Ware to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, 2 very similar guys. I mean, lefties, number 5, pitching, hitting first. And unfortunately, the number 5 for the Greyhounds has dominated the battle between him and Garula. And not what we really expected to see, but that's what's happening. And now Ware, probably the most dangerous hitter.
And a mound visit, and that will be the day for Brendan Garula. He'll get an ovation. Struggled with a few earned in the first and second inning, but he will come off the mound here, finishes 5 2/3 for the Comets in what will be, win or lose for the Comets, will be his last appearance in a Mason uniform on the mound. A terrific career from Brendan Garula, hovering just around a 1 ERA. Just couldn't quite get it done today. And coming in is Michael Murphy. He dominated in relief in the regional semifinals for these Comets against Lebanon.
Yeah, that's going to be a different look for these Greyhound hitters. A righty. And he's another guy, like he doesn't really have a put-away pitch, but he's got his fastball. He's got his breaking balls. He has a lot of quality pitches. We see guys sprinting. Man, they were.
the guys in the bullpen from
I'd say that's probably a 4.340 maybe.
Maybe a little bit
of against Tyreek Hill. I mean, those guys were zooming down the line there.
It's a double switch for the Comets. there is some movement. Nick Stroud will enter the game and go to second. Alex Kelling comes back in from left. And as of right now, they don't have a left fielder. I would assume Brendan Grula, yep, there he is. And may head to right or left field now and stay in the lineup at the leadoff spot. Stroud will take Kelling's spot, probably.
Yeah, I think Garula will likely go to right because that's where he's played the majority of the season.
Yep.
And Krukenberg's kind of played left and right, but you never know. We'll see what happens.
So Stroud comes in, and Garula enters the field. I think Sulik headed out, and I think Kelling headed out. So I think it was Garula coming in for Kelling in the outfield. And then might move over to shortstop is A.J. Lefton.
Well, then who would be at third base? Rutherford
still at third base.
Rutherford remains at third. Okay. Slightly confusing there.
Yep. We'll have some time to figure it out, and yeah, it does look like Lefton's heading to shortstop. Rutherford at third. And at second is Nick Stroud. Jackson Ware still at the plate. Murphy got his final warm-ups in. Comets need to get out of this inning. 2 outs with 1 on.
It looks like Garula will be in left, and now Krukenberg will stay in right field where he's been the whole game.
No count. And the first pitch is a ball from Murphy to Ware. Ware came into this game with a .322 batting average. Swings on and miss at strike 1 now, 1-1. And there's that Michael Murphy fastball. Like you said, it's probably not his best pitch, but it's still effective.
Yeah, 89. He pitches with more velocity than Garula. Doesn't have quite as much movement on his breaking pitches, but we kind of talked about he's kind of if Noah Samel and Brendan Garula had a child, it would be Michael Murphy.
Yeah, kind of takes the best from both of them. And you can look at his numbers so far this year. 0.8 ERA, 0.8 whip. And almost 10 strikeouts per 7 innings. Ware fouls that one off for strike 2. 1-2 is the count now. And by the reaction of the crowd, sounds like a fan might have made a nice play down there in the seats. A 1-2.
Could be worth something someday. Michael Murphy and Jackson Ware are 2 pretty good players.
And Jackson Ware, foul tip into the mitt. That's out number 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Last call for the Comets coming up here in the state semifinals on Mason Sports Radio.
All right, it's the last chance for the Comets here in the top of the 7th. It will be 9-1-2. West, Gruel, and Lefton. As you can see, some of these Grove City fans in the third base stand starting to get on their feet a little bit. West led off the 5th with a double for the Comets. Could really use that one right now. And he also flew out to center field in the 2nd, so he's made solid contact twice. And Holstrom will stay in the game. He's got 93 pitches, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, 59 strikeouts, 34 balls.
I think there's a good chance Holstrom will be on a short leash as well.
Oh, and West hammered the first pitch just way out in front on the 71-mile-per-hour breaking ball. And Holstrom's a guy whose velocity doesn't have much velocity anyways, and you take into account that he's thrown 94 pitches. The Comets are really going to have to sit back and wait, and West will get under the first pitch, and that will be a routine fly ball to the right fielder. That's going to be Bryant, and there's one away here, so only 2 more outs for the Comets to work with. Holstrom up to 95 pitches. Now here's Brendan Gruel, the guy who started pitching, start of the day for the Comets, who went 5 2/3, allowed 4 runs. I mean, he's been magnificent all tournament long, but just didn't have his best stuff today, unfortunately.
This could be his last at bat as well. And it was a good approach from West. Like you said, he hammered the first pitch, just a little under that one.
And Gruel will take ball 1 on the outside. Holstrom working quickly. Now it's ball 2. Both of those could have been strikes. I mean, both of them were kind of high and outside. So, I mean, Gruel will take those now. Last pitch registered at 70. Gruel now foul ball into the first base stands. Fastball there from Holstrom. I mean, the Comets just have to wait. Like the fastball at 78. Like, you know it's not going to be fast. Like, these pitches are coming in slower and slower. Just sit back.
Well, in a situation like this, they're just over anxious. You know, the season coming to an end.
I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously, up here. But that fastball there was topped out at 80. It's fast we've seen in a while, but it was in the dirt, so super inaccurate.
Yeah.
So now 3-1, and ball 4 will be low. So 1 on, 1 out for A.J. Lefton, who's played small ball all night long for the Comets, but I think Comets will need more than just a sacrifice bunt here, unfortunately.
Which he has
been swinging away.
He has been hitting pretty well lately. He's over 300 now, which if you look at his numbers from the start of the year, that's a huge improvement. And there's a meeting on the mound for the Greyhounds, and that might be the day for Holstrom.
Yeah, Holstrom's sitting at an even 100 right now.
Actually, I don't believe Gabe Duncan went back out to the bullpen. So I said they might have him on a short leash, but there's no one even in the bullpen right now that we can see from our view for Grove City.
Yeah, it's Holstrom's job. I mean, he's the man who's led this Grove City team through a number of upsets, beating New Albany in the regional finals, something no one really saw coming, and here they are. He is 2 outs away, but we'll have to get through the heart of the Comets order, and that ball will be inside, 1-0 to Lefton. So that's 3 consecutive balls from Holstrom. Now fire one in, and that's going to be low as well.
Make
fastball
that 4.
At 81, yeah, 4 consecutive balls. Holstrom working very fast on the mound, just trying to get this game over with. And a high strike fastball there at 79. Now 2-1. Holstrom again gets the sign, pitching from the stretch. And that's going to be low. Grove City fans complaining, but I don't know what they're complaining about. The ball hit the dirt.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty clear ball to me.
And again, here he goes. And that's a ground ball to second base. 4-6-3, and the Comet season is over. Grove City wins it on a double play. Yeah, the final line, the Comets 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. And the Grove City Greyhounds 4 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. And just like that, Comet season will come to a halt.
That's tough for a senior like A.J. Lefton, who has given so much to the program. to ground into a double play to end the season. And we just got to start with the kind of season this Mason Comets baseball team had, the ups and downs, and the kind of careers that these seniors have had on this Mason baseball team. I mean, Kevin West, A.J. Lefton, Noah Samuel, Brendan Grula, Aiden Stewart, James Laughlin, Brady Bly. I'm not sure if I left anyone out, but last year I fell in the regional semifinals. This year made it a couple of games further, and a really impressive group. We always talked about how impressive this pitching staff was between Noah Samuel and Brendan Grula, both going to play some high-level college baseball next year.
Yeah, but the hitters have also gotten it done in these clutch situations. Down 3-0 against Lebanon, against a Louisville commit. Comets storm back, take 4 runs. The team has persevered and battled all season long to get to the spot they were today. Unfortunately, just not able to get the job done. So Grove City will take on Northview for the championship. There's been a lot of upsets in these playoffs, and we just saw another one today.
It's baseball.
Yep. And anything can happen.
And not only does that cap the Mason baseball season, that puts a cap to the whole Mason athletics year as well. The baseball team was the last team left, and what a terrific season Mason athletics have had as a whole, capturing another GMC All-Sports trophy, a few state champions, and girls track, boys cross country, and girls tennis. Vignesh, we got Goganeni, a part of a few individual state championships for Mason.
Yeah, but also there's one more last, and that's
the hardest.
Me and you on the mic together, Ben. It's been a lot of fun. I remember sophomore year, our first broadcast. Well, I think it was a football game, and I was announcing a play, and then I was doing play-by-play. You're doing color. You kind of interrupted me, and I wasn't really too happy. I'm like, Ben, what are you doing? This is my turn. But our chemistry, I'd say, has improved just maybe a little bit from that moment, and we went from acquaintances to best friends through Mason Sports Radio, and I wouldn't trade these last 3 years together for the world, Ben. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, Evan. I'm rooming together next year, where this program has brought us not only as a broadcaster, but has brought us as people as well. The amount of hours we've spent working on this program, working not only calling games, but working some behind the scenes, working to get to a format where we could consistently live stream for at least regular seasons for these sports. The amount of new sports that we were able to cover too that have never had broadcasts, and just the enjoyable 3 years for me, 4 years for you, that this program has brought me. And I know I speak for you as well, that I'm just saying this program and this athletic department and being able to bring these sports to the community it really meant everything to me.
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, how many other schools have something like this? I mean, we're 3.5 hours away from home in Akron calling the state semifinals. Like, how many kids get to do this? I mean, we're some of the luckiest people in the world, Ben. Got to remember that sometimes.
Yep, and like you said, not a lot of other schools have something like this.
Especially public schools.
Yep, and something that we were able to grow ourselves too. We got a lot of freedom. Obviously, a ton of the thank yous have to go to our advisor, Dale Connor, who has done an amazing job leading us, but also giving us freedom over the last few years to kind of grow it, do what we want, and experiment with things too. And obviously, none of this would happen without the support of the community, of all the families of athletes that are, 11 states away.
Yeah.
That are watching their kids from home, all the that don't have any family members but just love watching Mason sports, and that kind of keeps us going.
Oh, for sure.
Knowing that there are people out there watching.
Yeah, and there's one thing I'd like to say about Mr. Connor. I mean, he had confidence in me, at least in sports radio, before I really had confidence in myself. I mean, the first game there were some couple freshmen coming in. and he let me broadcast the third football game of the year, which was rare as a freshman. I mean, usually you got to pay your dues, do some Twitter, but I was able to get on the mic early, and he was a big advocate for me early and really just, I mean, he helped me a ton.
Well, he
just kind of get into that field. And then obviously another shout out to my dad. Obviously, he's been in the business and he's supported me and helped me. He listens to all the broadcasts, just tells me what I can do better. And I mean, he's been an amazing help. And I got to thank my mom because she's the one who back in the summer 2018 found this on Twitter. And that's why I took integrated media, and that's why I'm sitting here today. So thank you, Mom, for finding this and just discovering a passion I never really would have thought about.
Mm-hmm. We've come a long way in the last 3 years, and the whole entire Mason Sports Radio crew, I'm really proud of. Obviously, you've come a long way. We both have as commentators. Adam Little has been with us everywhere, every single step of the way. This program would be nothing without Adam Little.
That kid's a workhorse. He's like call him Iron Man, I guess. He's kind of like Cal Ripken Jr. I mean, I don't know if he's broadcasted like 3,000 whatever consecutive games. Was it 31-92, something like that? But Adam Little, he grinds out games, and he's just does everything. Whatever you tell him to do, he gets the job done. I know Ben screams at him a lot, but that's just because he loves him. Yeah. And that's because he wants Adam to work at his fullest potential.
And obviously working behind the scenes today, his brother Andrew Little has done a ton for the program. Savannah Libby is only a sophomore and a real, just another workhorse who just pumps out games. And the amount of games we were able to do this year, I mean, it's hard to thank everyone. And obviously, big shout out to my sister, Lily Haller. I tried not to be biased all year, but only a freshman.
Her pictures are amazing.
The amount of games she's been at with me. That's what makes it fun too. Is just getting to be around people I love. Really, just some of my best friends and my sister out here.
Even though your contact for your sister is a kind of a throwing up emoji, you guys are still very close, and you still love your sister.
I think you're making me sound worse than I really am over here on air. But it's been a lot of fun.
Another shout out, Lucas Kleemeyer, senior as well. Luke Thomas, another senior, and Amelia Guerin, who's broadcasted some games for us as well. And they've meant so much to the program too, especially with the big soccer coverage, because me and you don't know a ton about the game of soccer.
We're not the biggest European football guys over here, but once again, it was just a lot of fun. That's something new that this program brought, was just some sports I didn't know a whole lot about, and I got to learn a little more and kind of found a new interest in sports like soccer or lacrosse or softball. But just the amount of things we could go on about what this program has brought us and all the thank yous we deserve.
I mean, we could be here for hours.
We deserve to give, sorry.
But if you're still listening, you're probably bored. You probably just want us to shut up. So
one last send-off. Mason baseball loses in the state semifinals to the Grove City Greyhounds. One last time signing off. I'm Ben Haller.
And I'm Evan Amazon.
Have a good night.